What's up, people? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Finance Rebel Show. I am Kamari Ellis, the Finance Rebel. And as you know, every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesdays where you can come in, ask your questions. All money questions are welcome. All money questions are appreciated, but we have a good old time spreading this good old gospel about good money, not bad money, not money you got to do something strange to get a little bit of change for, but good money, positive money, ethical money, morally based money, nothing that you would do to harm your brother or sister for. And as we are getting everybody to come in, just want to let y'all know, I'm going to talk about a story a little bit. The story is about this financial advisor who kills his client. So we're going to have a brief conversation about that while everybody's coming in, getting ready. Hopefully y'all got y'all popcorn, y'all got y'all soda, y'all drink. Hopefully it's water, right? We need to be drinking more water, especially as these COVID numbers are spiking to keep us all healthy, so fresh and so clean. But we're going to talk about that. Before we do that, let's talk to a couple people. Let's acknowledge some folks. Miss Edith. How are you, Miss Edith? Thank you. It's funny, Miss Edith, my cousin is actually on. You hear me talk about my cousin in the B accent. He's on today as well. Hey, Tiffany, how you doing? Mr. Willie Torrey. This is my cousin, everybody. Say hello to Willie. One of the people who's partly responsible for who I am today. All I drink is water. All right, Tiffany, you are a great inspiration for me. You are a great inspiration. Now, is your water have a high pH level? That's the question I want to know. But listen, we are here to answer questions. That's what we do every Wednesday. Any questions you might have, throw them in the chat, throw them in the box on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, welcome. If you're on YouTube, welcome. Any questions you might have, throw it in the box, and I will get to them. By the way, shout out to Mr. Robert Lewis. Mr. Robert Lewis did a response to my video, which is pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I only got some of it. I got bombarded with some client calls, like with some work that actually pays me, right? So I got to tend to that. Hey, Katisa, how you doing? Willie says hello. Miss Tiffany said hello to Willie. So when y'all hear me tell stories about hip hop and my love for hip hop, Willie is definitely basically responsible for that. When I was a little kid, he would take me all around. And I'm sure I was a pain in his behind, but he was kind enough to me to take me all around. Had some very interesting things to see, right? Took me to the park, or what they call up there as a park. In Philly, parks are a little bit different, but I got to see all kind of folks, right? Live and in person and direct. Everybody from the Fat Boys to Curtis Blow to Run DMC, I got to see live and direct, and I'll never forget that. So I am always forever thankful to Willie. Rosie, how you doing, Rosie? Welcome. Don Johnson. What up, my man? My mellow ace. How you been? Thank you for joining. Welcome. Sean, how you doing? I always mess up your whole name, so I'm going to say Sean. Just tune in. All right, we just getting going. All right, Miss Edith said she liked and shared. And Willie said, very welcome. Thank you, brother. All right, what we got going on over here? Let's see. All right, so Charlie says she drinks 8.4 naturally. So her water is an 8.4 pH balance. And I have, all right, we're not going to do labels, right? We're not doing brands. We're not doing brands because they're not paying me for commercials. Tired of giving these folks, these colonizers, free advertisement. All right, Lindsay USA says first things first, get to the money. Absolutely. Netter 101, thank you for joining. Remember, everybody, this is Wealthy Wednesdays. Leave a comment in the box or the chat, no matter where you are. We're going to get to it. We're going to have a bunch of fun. And I'm going to tell a story. It's a story about a financial advisor in the South. And the financial advisor killed his client. Shot him. Cold-blooded, like that Rick James song. I might be showing my age if I start talking about Rick James. But he killed his client, cold-blooded, had been his client for a little while. This financial advisor also was named in several other Ponzi schemes. He basically bilked people out of about 1.9 million, and he also bilked the guy he killed out of about $250,000. But I'm going to pull up the article real quick, just so y'all can see I ain't making this up, right? I often say, and people have often said, that life is stranger than fiction, and this is one of those times. This is definitely a strange time, but I don't know. I don't know what would cause somebody to kill somebody outside of self-defense. It's very inhumane. It's very unhuman. It's definitely ungodly. But sadly, it happens. It happens. So, all right, let's pull up this story real quick. I'm going to show y'all this real quick. As we go through the story, everybody remember to put your questions in the box so we can get to those questions and I can answer those questions in a timely and respectful fashion. What you laughing at, Charlie? All right, so let me pull this up so y'all can see it. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. All right, so North Texas man's death staged as suicide after being killed by his financial advisor. Like I said, life is truly stranger than fiction. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. All right. So, hold on, let me read this part. Officials said that the two were friends and that they believed the suspect killed James Jim Segan in an attempt to gain control of his finances. And that's Mr. Segan's name. I mean, his picture right there. 62 years old. He lived a life up until 62 years old just to be taken by some dude, some greedy person who thought money was more important than people. Listen, folks, people over profits, people over money, morals over money all day long, y'all. Never forget that. Never forget that. All right. So this story came out today, 18th, around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, right? So after a 9-month investigation, authorities have arrested a financial advisor who was accused of killing his client, officials said. Keith Ashley, 48, of Allen, I guess he's from Allen, Texas, faces a murder charge and the shooting death of 62-year-old James Segan of Carrollton, according to the Carrollton police. Federal officials took Carrollton into custody last week on related wire fraud charges. So the hammer was coming down on him either way. And when you look at this guy's picture, I hate to say this, but he really looks like a killer. All right, so Keith is 48. Officials said in February, Segan's wife found him at home, shot to the head. All right, according to detectives, directly next to his body, she also found a typed note indicating it was a suicide. However, after a 9-month-long investigation, detectives said that they found evidence that revealed Ashley incapacitated and then killed Segan. So officials said that the two were friends and that Ashley often visited Segan's home. They believe Ashley killed Segan in an attempt to gain control over his finances. Hey, Linda USA, this is down your way, right? Be careful, man. Be careful. Detective said during this investigation, he also identified several other victims of a Ponzi scheme, right? Remember I said this guy got about 9 people out of 1.7 billion. So, this guy has been running rampant for quite some time now. Now, let me see. Okay, so this is a different story than the one I had before. All right, so since I don't have the other story up, it basically went on to say he tried to frame this guy and say it was a staged suicide, right? He placed the guy's gun in his right hand, but the guy was actually left-handed, right? So dead giveaway right there. So the guy he murdered was actually left-handed. He put the gun in his right hand. Also, they found out that this guy, this financial advisor, was also a nurse, and he had administered some type of drug to this guy. I'm trying to find the name of the drug as I looked it up. At etomidate. It's supposedly anesthesia type drug that kind of numbs you up and gets you ready for general anesthesia. General anesthesia is the bigger anesthesia that puts you out for a longer time period. So I guess he knocked this guy out and then murdered him. But here's the thing. When the gunshots went off, it triggered the camera in the garage. And so they caught this guy coming and going. And actually he left and he went back into the house. Right. And then he left this weird note. And in the suicide note, it told officials, and I guess the wife, regarding his money, to contact his financial advisor. I mean, that's just the icing on the cake right there. That this guy had enough audacity to say, call my advisor about the money. And the advisor is actually the guy who killed him for the money. And so in the other reports, it also said that the guy who died, the guy who passed away, also had given him roughly $755,000 over about a 5-year period. So this is just like straight up cold-blooded murder right here. So all I would say to that, y'all, is let's be careful. Be careful about the people you keep around you. Watch people. You don't got to say nothing to them. Just watch them. A mentor of mine said something to me, and I know some people agree with it and some people disagree with it, but people tell you who they are up front. Oftentimes, we just are not brave enough to accept that truth. And so I'm sure with that guy, that murderer, there was something about him that let you know that he was probably a murderer. He could have been a sociopath or whatever. You know, I am not a therapist. I think I saw one of my favorite therapists on. Did I see Taz on? Yeah, Taz talk. Hey, Taz. But listen, that shows that you are straight cold-blooded. That shows that your wiring is a little out of whack and is not working the way that the divine and nature had designed it to work. But again, folks, make sure you check out people before you do business with them. Check out people before you welcome them to your home, to the sanctum of your home and your mental space, right? We must protect our mental space. I put a picture of my son up on Instagram, and there's a saying I tell my son all the time. He don't get it, but maybe some of you will. I always tell him, protect your mind and guard your spirit. Again, protect your mind and guard your spirit. We fight not with flesh and blood, but with spirits, with principalities. I always forget the verse, but everything that we deal with isn't always physical. Clearly, that dude, that murderer's got something going on inside of him. So don't let everybody into y'all inner space, y'all. All right. So what questions can I answer for you beautiful folks tonight? I'm seeing a couple other comments. Just want to acknowledge some folks. Tiffany says, "Nah, it's good. No beef, no pork." Sounds like a Big Daddy Kane verse. No pork on my no swine on my fork. Strictly fish on my dish. All right, I'm showing my age, but no beef, no pork. Very little chicken and turkey. Almost vegetarian. All right, salutes to you. That is awesome. Thank you, Ms. Edith. I truly appreciate you. Not a tax question. What's your favorite? My favorite breakdancing movie is probably Beat Street. Please, nobody get on here and say Breaking. Breaking was whack. Maybe Wild Style too. But those are my two favorite. What are your favorites, Sean? What are your favorites? Okay, Jazz Hands. How you doing, Jazz Hands? You said you're on the line. Thanks to Edith. All right. Thank you, Ms. Edith. Yep, that's crazy. That is crazy. How you doing, Keenan? What's your favorite finance book, and what was your first book that you was recommended that sparked your interest in investing? Let me read that again. What was your favorite finance/money book, and what was your first book that was recommended to you that sparked your interest in investing? I don't know how to answer that question. It wasn't a book that sparked my interest. And I'm being very honest and transparent right now. My father is an accountant, so I'm sure being around all that definitely helped spark my love, my obsession for finance and business. Like, I love business. Because business to me is an art and a science when you really get down to it. And I love the stock market because it's probably the highest form of business you could ever see. And just to watch some of the moves and how they illustrate and orchestrate some of these things is very masterful, very masterful. But one book I would recommend, and I think I have it right here. Give me 1 second. That I would recommend everybody read. Yep, I got it right here. And I tell y'all this every week, almost every week, is this book right here. Can y'all see it? Let me know if y'all can see it. Type of one in the chat if you can see it. All right. It's this one right here. Let me make sure I get it. How Money Works. How Money Works. How Money Works is a great book. I think it's a great introductory book for adults and children. It's very graphical, right? It really breaks down a lot of the concepts and terminologies that you really need to understand in order to really master business. But going back to that question, again, I grew up kind of around the stuff. I was fortunate like that. I didn't recognize I was blessed at the time. I was definitely blessed. I didn't necessarily take it. I didn't appreciate it. I definitely took it for granted. But I was also a kid, right? What kid doesn't take things for granted? I think we have to be honest and allow ourselves some grace sometimes, because we often have regrets on our youth. But you know, I was a kid. I didn't really take it. I didn't take it serious, right? Initially, it was just something I kind of had to do. I had to go to my dad's every day after school. I didn't realize I was amongst greatness. A lot of people, because my dad, you know, he was in the community. Well, he did community work as well. But he also had a business. So he was helping on both fronts, on a financial front and a social and community front. And I guess that's probably a major reason why I do this stuff here, because even when I was working at my dad's, I always kind of envisioned his office kind of being a financial center. But then the other thing is when I went to school for finance. So I've read all kinds of textbooks and got to engage with my teachers. So I don't necessarily read a whole bunch of investing books. There are some I like this book here. It's great for teaching. You know, I'm really big on folks getting a true educational basis on their finance and not just taking advice from some talking head, whether it be on TV, radio, or social media. And that even includes me, because some people do call me a social media guru, because somebody said to me, Kamari, matter of fact, it was my son. They said, you talk about you not liking social media gurus, but you're a social media guru. You know some of the biggest social media gurus. But I said, I'm not really a social media guru. I actually do this in real life. In my opinion, most of these social media gurus do not do this in real life. They just happen to have a platform, and then they talk about some things they might have experienced. And some of them are really good, right? So I'm not trying to throw everybody under the bus, but some of them are straight trash. And a lot of people don't have the level of discernment or experience to really differentiate between who's real and who's not, who's real and who's fake. But, you know, that's just me. No shade, no names calling, no nothing like that. All right. But I would read that. I would read The Richest Man in Babylon. I would read, there's a book about Warren Buffett called Snowball. I would read, I'm broadcasting live on my phone. I will pull up my, my Audible account, but I don't have it. Well, let me go to my Amazon account and let me see if there are any books in there, that might be good. Sean, what about money interests you? What about it interests you? Why? What is your why? Like, why do you think it's important? So let me look. I just ordered another book called Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. I haven't gotten through it yet. Another book, right? Another book. It's called Black Fortunes. Black Fortunes is about the six black people, or the first six black people after slavery, that became millionaires. Great book. Great book. Let's see. Give you a couple more that I can find. This isn't an investment book, but I love this book. I think it's a great book. The Spook Who Sat by the Door, I think, is a really good book too. And I think it can help people navigate the to a certain degree. It could have helped you navigate actually 15 years ago, but I think it still can help you navigate, because many of us still want to operate outside of the system, where you need players both outside and inside the system to truly bring about change. So neither one is better than the other. You need both. Da, 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 da. I would tell you another book I really like. Again, it's not a finance book, but The Miseducation of the Negro is another book that I thoroughly enjoy. There's a couple of books. Well, here, all right. So getting back to investments, right? Because I know y'all don't want me to be talking about conscious stuff. Y'all want to hear about this money. Talk about this money. Oh man, I can't think of his name. He's got a great book too. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna try to find it. I think this is a great book about investments that everybody should read as well. One Up on Wall Street. There it is. One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch is probably one of the greatest mutual fund managers ever. He worked for Fidelity, which is one of the biggest investment companies in the world. And I think you can get a lot out of One Up on Wall Street as well. All right. So is that the verse? Ephesians 6, chapter 6, verse 12 through 13. Yeah. My bad, y'all. I ain't mean to throw the Bible at y'all. I can't help it. My mother used to make me go to Bible school, summer vacation Bible school, when I was like 16 years old. My friends is out on the corner drinking beer. She would literally walk me off the block and make me go to vacation Bible school. I laugh at that every time I think about it. Yeah, Wild Styles filled in the hood, BX all day. My cousin used to say the Bronx is the only borough with a the in front of it. Oh, man. All right, so y'all all saw the book, right? Okay. Yep. All right, what was that garbage, Robert? I see you switch platforms on us. Jazz, yeah, get a copy of that. How Money Works is good. It's very good. Jazz says, what's your favorite book for young people? I missed that. My bad. Money allows certain freedoms. Okay. Regardless of how much money I have earned, to me, it's simply a tool. Thank you. It is a tool. Some people like to worship money. It's not to be worshiped, folks. Many of the pastors get that scripture wrong. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money, the emotion of loving money is the root of all evil. To me, it's simply a tool that allows us to make different choices. Right. I personally want to devote time towards volunteering efforts. All right. That's dope. Now you can do that now, right? You can do that now before you even get the money. You'd be surprised. There's a video. Matter of fact, there is a video that popped up in my memories yesterday about a young lady by the name of Saudi Shulia who owns Country Cooking here in Philadelphia. I definitely want to say prayers out to Saudi because she has a case of COVID right now and she's in the hospital. But I said in this video, and this was right when Meek Mills, I think either just got released or just got locked back up. But she did this whole event for her business, and she served her patrons free breakfast. And in the memory or in the celebration of Meek Mills, right? The name of the breakfast or the name of the event was Free Meek Mills Meal or something like that. But she fed over 600 people. And in that video, I talked about how she sowed a seed into her customer base by feeding them for free. And that customer base would continue to give to her over and over and over again. I think the woman's a genius. So definitely prayers out to her. But I say all that to say, I oftentimes have these discussions, these debates about doing things for free. A lot of people say, well, I got to get paid for my time. I got to get paid for this. And I said, I could probably show you how to do some things for free and you make even more money. Matter of fact, Miss Edith is on here. So I've personally talked to Miss Edith about this. And you could do things. I mean, the Bible says your gifts will make room for you to meet great men, right? And I was talking to a friend of mine who said a lot of people misinterpret that. They think it's like your gifts, like your basketball talent or your writing talent or your painting talent, which is a gift. She said the way her pastor interprets it is that your actual gifts, like what you give to somebody, the charity that you deliver to somebody actually will make room for you to help other people or to get into room with other people as well. I believe that too. I believe both instances, right? Because, I help people freely all the time. Not as much now because I'm getting way more busier, but I don't do it to get paid. I don't do it and I don't do it for everybody. I do it for people who I feel are worthy. You can't ask me to do it. I have to really feel that that you're deserving and that you're worthy of it, of my time. So yeah, but Sean, I say all that to say that, don't just be one of those people who think you have to wait to volunteer or wait to do something quote unquote significant when you get money. You can do something now. You'd be surprised how far a smile and a hello goes in a day of some people out in this world. You would be really surprised. All right. So he says, I want to get to a point financially where I can do it right. Those interest facets. Right. Yeah. Okay. I get that. Also, I had a mentor, I guess is the other thing, because I always kind of believed that principle. I don't know where I got it from, but I also had another mentor who kind of told it to me. He said, giving equals receiving to the 100 power. Giving equals receiving to the 100 power. And he would always tell me, he said, Kamari, when you're in hard times, go find somebody to give to. Go volunteer and give to it. He said, one, the joy you'll get from giving will be tremendous, will change your mood, will lift you up. And, I always say your attitude determines your altitude as well. So it just helps put you in good spirits, and it's a great thing. So yeah, there are some online gurus. Absolutely. Hey, Angela, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Yes, the love of money. Yeah, we got to get that scripture right. Absolutely. I'm working on some Habitat. Oh, that's dope. Habitat for Humanity bills and the Missing in America project. I've never heard of that project, but there are plenty of people missing in America, plenty of Black folks that are missing in America. Yes, Miss Eve, the power of free. Wait a minute. So are we just going to have like a conversation? Because I haven't seen a whole bunch of questions tonight, y'all. You spitting that word today. Yeah. I got to stop doing that, y'all. Y'all going to start calling me a pastor or something. I be slipping up sometimes. Okay, Jazz can vouch for you. She does the same. Red velvet dinner, Nana pudding. Yeah, Nana pudding. That quote about giving that you just said was solid. Awesome mentor. Yeah, he was. Probably the best boss I ever had. It's better to give than to receive. Absolutely. All right, so no questions. Listen, anybody got any questions? Throw them in the chat. Remember, you are watching Wealthy Wednesdays. This is the Finance Rebel Show. Wealthy Wednesdays is a section or a segment we do every Wednesday to come to you live, hang out with y'all, answer y'all money questions, and help everybody, break down money concepts, make them simple, easy, and fun, or make them simple, easy, and plain. And just hopefully make financial IQ or help to elevate the financial IQs of everybody that gets to tune in. So do me a favor, share this with someone who could take advantage of this. I've been in this business for over 20 years. I can't tell y'all the exact date because then I'm going to tip y'all off to how old I am. But I've been around, I've been around. This ain't my first rodeo. So I've seen some things and did some things and got to experience a lot of stuff. So I always try to bring it back and share with you all. Hello, son. You want to say hello to the people?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
No.
All right. Taxman asks, what's your take on Bitcoin investing? So I get labeled a Bitcoin hater. I know Bitcoin hit 18,000 a day. I started to show y'all some of my Bitcoin that I got in my Cash App. I did like 40%. It's on like $45 though. So this is what I have to say about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is cool. Crypto is cool. Ethereum is cool. But I feel that a lot of people like Bitcoin because they feel it's a lottery ticket. It's a get rich quick thing for them. Not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying people look at it like that. And I feel that most people, because my show and most of the work that I do is for the beginner investor or the beginning person coming into personal finance, taxes, insurance, stocks, whatever it may be. But I feel that they should get a better grasp of the economy, become savers, and do all the fundamental things instead of the sexy stuff. To me, Bitcoin is the sexy stuff, right? We're going to start seeing a whole bunch of Bitcoin advertisements. Bitcoin traders are going to be popping back up. They've already been popping up, but a whole lot more. Back in 2017, when Bitcoin touched 20,000, I said it was in a bubble. That's how I got labeled being a Bitcoin hater. and then the bubble popped and it went down to about $3,000 and it's still around. So I say a lot to say that Bitcoin isn't bad, right? No tool is bad. But if all you have in your head is you want to hammer nails and you grab a hammer and you just try to hit everything with a hammer, you find out that you're going to put a lot of holes in things. So it will behoove you to learn what the tools do, what the tools are for, how to apply the tools, so you don't put holes in your money, so you don't damage things, so you don't tear down your house, don't tear down your financial house. So I would rather see people spend more time learning their tools, practicing with their tools, learning, what you can build, what you can build, what kind of foundation you will need to build, right? I work with a bunch of real estate people. And I've done work in real estate before as well. Used to manage property, but again, I want to see us be able to make money wherever our talents lie, not necessarily wherever the fad lies. There's a difference where your talents, where your God-given gifts, abilities, and talents lie, and where the fad lies, right? Clearly, Noah had a talent for building ships. That wasn't the fad at the time, though. That wasn't cool at the time. And there I go quoting Bible again. But I think y'all got my point. You think I got my point? Sheree Banks, how you doing? Tara Colston. Whoa, I feel special. Tara's on. What's up, Tara? King Chris, how you doing? You should post a book list on your page so it can be bookmarked. Yeah, Charlie, I keep saying I'm going to do a video on it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I'll do that. I'll get to it. Sure, how you doing? How you been? Where you been? I ain't seen you forever. Charlie. Oh, not Charlie. Jazz. Cherie. I saw the Cherie first and said Charlie. My bad. Oh, so you agree on the volunteering piece? Yes, absolutely. Brad Models. The life you're given with knowledge of the Bible is making me rich in my spirit. Okay. That's not my aim. Listen, y'all. I am not a Bible scholar. I could never claim that. I can just tell you that there are a lot of wisdom in the Bible. There's a lot of wisdom in all the spiritual books, though, from the Bhagavad Gita to the Quran to there's another one. There's a Chinese one too. I think it's really, really dope. But thank you for that. Either way, I know it comes from a great place and great intention. Check your text for questions. I can't get to my text right now. Robbie Robe. I might be saying your name wrong. Brutus, how are you? Welcome. Because I can only get to my text on my phone and I'm using my phone. When y'all send me those texts, make sure y'all send them to me early, y'all, so I can get those questions in. Sometimes though, if one, I have the time, and two, if I think it's like a really, really good question or a topic, I will definitely try to get to it between, these broadcasts. Yes, the Torah as well, but the Bible and the Torah kind of overlap. The Old Testament I know it's slightly different. Don't get me wrong. But the Old Testament is the Torah for the most part. But no, I was thinking about Lao Tzu. Oh, the Tao Te Ching. That's what I was thinking about. The Tao Te Ching. Another good book. And personally, I think those books are great. Yeah. Oh, you know what? There is a question here in the chat. Let me get to that. So Brad says, what residual business do you have in mind? I don't really have a residual business in mind. I have my business, which is tax resolution. I help people solve their tax debts and also tax preparation, tax planning. I still help some people with their investments as well, but that's not my main business right now because I don't feel like dealing with all the compliance. If I did go back full-fledged into investments, I would have to get other licensing, and compliance is a bear. I have to tell you about the time I almost got fired for writing an article on Seeking Alpha. Funny story. My career, I'm probably hopelessly unemployable at this point because my career, I was always getting in trouble for either something that I had good intentions to do or sometimes for other folks. And that's not me not wanting to take accountability, right? Because I've also made some bad mistakes too over my career. But no, just pure, I think I told y'all one time I got fired because of something my boss did because I was part of his quote unquote regime. And I got fired for that. Did nothing wrong. Did great work. Clients love me, but I got fired for that. I'll tell that story another time. I ain't going into that today. Brad, I guess though, when you say residual, my dividend stocks are things that are residual or passive income. But for me, I'm going to go more into education and doing education as a business. I don't know if I would call that residual, because residual means that it's left over or it's passive. And I'm not a super duper big believer in passive income. I don't really think anything is really passive. There are things that are passive adjacent or close to being passive income, but most things need some kind of time. All right. I hope I answered that question. Yeah, but Robbie, I hope I'm saying your name right. You can put a question in the chat. You can absolutely put a question in the chat. Feel free to do that. So let's get to this. Let's get to these. Please expound. How do you feel about? Hold on, y'all. This didn't jump on me. I missed out on some of these things. Jazz says, how do you see the real estate market going? Real estate's local. I think we're due for a correction at some point. When it stops going up, no one knows, right? But what goes up must come down, just like the stock market. At some point, there'll be a correction. I don't know when. By the way, nothing that I do here is considered investment advice. I'm not making any predictions or recommendations to buy and sell anything. This is all for entertainment and educational purposes only. So keep that in mind. But I don't, depending on how you do real estate, depending on how you do stocks, it could work in any market. It just depends on your approach to it. Those people who are jumping the bandwagon, who want to jump into real estate right now because they see it's hot, let's keep going. A lot of those people will be hurt, just like anything else. Like if you go back to 07, 08, 09, right? If you go back to before 07, let's say 06, 05, the market was at a top in major parts of the area. Money was cheap to get for mortgages. A lot of fraudulent mortgages were being out there. You had all these no docs on there. If Robert Lewis is in the building, he could probably chime in about that. But then we saw a correction. The party was over. Somebody's parents came home to the teenage party. They flicked the lights on and off, and everybody kind of scattered like roaches. And then now we're kind of back here again. A lot of easy money has been pumped into the economy through the Fed for years. And it was kind of bound to happen. But I don't think real estate's bad. It just all depends on what you're doing. All right. Please expound. Ms. Edith says, please expound on the Amazon pharmaceutical deal. Well, Amazon is thinking about doing pharmaceuticals. They've been talking about that for a while. I mean, they're pushing to supermarkets like Walmart. I mean, not Walmart, Whole Foods, and the like. I think Amazon is going to be a player for quite some time. And I mean, the infrastructure they already have it. Amazon pharmacy jumps. Let me see. I didn't even see this. Amazon jumps into the pharmacy business with online prescriptions fulfillment, free delivery for Prime members. Wow. I didn't see that. Thank you, Ms. Edith. I did not see that. Yeah, let me put this up on the screen. I think that's just another great reason. Another great reason why Amazon is a great company. Now, y'all know when I talk about investments, I'm talking about investing, not trading, right? I'm talking about holding investments for the long term, not just for buy here today, going tomorrow. All right. So Amazon jumps into the pharmacy business with online prescription fulfillment, free delivery for Prime members. Amazon is everywhere. So they announced that yesterday. I missed that. Someone just said pill pack. So Amazon pharmacy is designed to make it easy and convenient. Yeah. So now people can get, I mean, I don't know if y'all ever paid attention to how quick Prime comes or how quick Amazon deliveries come, but if they build infrastructure for medicine distribution, that's a major challenge to the Rite Aids, Walgreens, CVS's, Rite Aids of the world. That's going to be very interesting. right? Pill pack. Right. Okay. Amazon has been quietly building out its pharmacy offering for several years after ramping up internal discussions in 2017 and acquiring PillPack in 2018. The pharmacy space is notoriously complex and competitive in the United States, and Amazon Pharmacy is built in part on PillPack's infrastructure, including its pharmacy software, fulfillment centers, and relationships with health plans. Big bank, take little bank. Amazon announced Tuesday as the company's biggest push yet into a $300 billion market. Jeez Louise. And threatens the dominance of traditional pharmacies. Like I just said that, right? I didn't even get to that part of it. CVS and Walgreens, as well as other large retailers. Yeah, because Walmart does a lot. Walmart does a lot in pharmacy as well. So I think that's a good thing. I think it makes their business sound as long as they can manage it properly. I mean, management is always a thing with any business for it to be a good business. But Amazon always seems to be up to doing that. So, and what I mean by doing that, I'm talking about doing good management. They're okay with making the tough decisions, cutting when it needs to cut, buying when they need to buy. They're very data driven. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Michael Dennis, what's happening with the fight between Amazon and Walmart after these last years of Walmart? Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a big fight between Amazon and Walmart. I mean, when you look at Walmart, and I'm not really a big fan of Walmart stores, but when you look at Walmart, they came back from the grave, basically. I mean, they had missed the wave on online tremendously. But the benefit of Walmart is they had a square position in the marketplace. They were the king or queen of low prices. So they always had traffic coming in to their stores. And so they always had cash flow. They always had money, right? So they were able to do some things. But they took that money, they reinvested in building out online infrastructure and tech. And now they're one of the leaders in online. So they definitely are going to give Amazon a run for their money. I mean, Amazon clearly is the online leader because Amazon accounts for like 5% of all online sales. So, Amazon is doing the thing. But, I don't know. So Jazz, is it Jazz Hands or Jazz Hines? Do you see prices going down? In certain markets, yes. I mean, I can see prices definitely going down. Absolutely. In some oversaturated markets, you're seeing a big push to like these second tier and third tier cities in like the Midwest, because now you can work anywhere. We don't necessarily have to be in the same geographical location as our job. I mean, how many teleworkers or Zoom workers do we have out there now? There's a lot. How you feel what Trump is doing is affecting the stock market? If Trump would actually be a good leader, which he's incapable of doing. So, this is kind of wishful thinking, but he would give his concession. He would stop putting out these BS lawsuits, and he would give Joe Biden and the Biden team access to national briefings, especially about COVID. I bet, in my opinion, and I guess this is probably already priced into the market, even though we did see the market fall today. If the market saw that, if they saw this transition, it would give a little bit more ease. It would allay a lot of fears for a lot of people. The market does not like uncertainty. Many people are uncertain about what this guy is going to do. The Hitler impersonator, no one knows what he's going to do. And so if the market saw that, if investors saw that, I think it could be a great thing, a positive thing for the markets. Mr. Incredible, how you doing? Uniqua 79, how are you? Welcome. All right. What other questions y'all got? Let's see. So Sean puts up finance question. Kind of, what advice do you have for people giving gifts for Christmas that cannot afford them? Have you been reading or looking at my YouTube channel? I've got a video about gifts. All right. So here's my take on the holiday season, right? Because you got Christmas, Kwanzaa, which is the most important one, in my opinion, and Hanukkah and some others. I think a lot of times a lot of people go broke on Christmas unnecessarily. I think this Christmas is going to be a little weird because a lot of people are still out of work. We still have over 20 million people out of jobs. Stimulus has not gotten to the economy, but I still think people are going to find a way to make Christmas and buy gifts for Christmas. With that said, I feel that we need to stop buying kids gifts for Christmas or as many gifts and start buying them stock. Kids get these toys and they play with them for a week. I can't tell you, over the years, what kind of spread my family has had under the Christmas tree, how much money was under there, and how the kids might play with the toys for like a week or two, and then they're gone. But if you bought the stock, they might not have got to play with it, but let's be honest, you're still going to buy something fun for the kids, right? That's not going to be true. But maybe if we took half of the money we was going to spend on toys and spent half of it on stocks, just, basic everyday stocks, something the kids would enjoy or understand, like anything from Disney with Star Wars and Marvel. I mean, those are the things you could talk about, even McDonald's. Those are things you could talk about with them, encourage conversations with your children to help them develop a better financial understanding and a better base of financial education. But, and I'm speaking generally, I ain't talking about nobody individually. We are very strategic when it comes to gift giving, like many other communities. So I would say that, one, if you can't afford it, keep your money in your pocket. Two, if you can't afford it, maybe think about getting some stock instead of buying Christmas gifts that are only going to be used for a few weeks at best. You might have one or two gifts that make the test of time, maybe a phone or something like that. But most of that stuff doesn't matter. Stock is the gift that keeps on giving. Remember, I said that stock is the gift that keeps on giving. Y'all should give that for birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, christenings, baptisms, all of it. Give stock or cash. But I say give stock because it'll continue to grow over time, typically 9 times out of 10. All right, so those are my thoughts. I got that one already. Just for someone starting off, can you talk about DRIPs, dividend reinvestment programs? What is it and how to start reinvesting dividends? And 3 possible platforms to start a DRIP. All right, so what is a DRIP? He just explained it to you. A DRIP is a dividend reinvestment platform. So there are some companies that you can directly invest into. I want to say Home Depot is one. There are many others. I'm going to Google. Good old thing called Google. DRIPs. Or companies that offer DRIPs. I should do that. Companies that offer DRIPs, right? So each company, not each company, but a lot of companies will offer DRIPs, right? And it's a free way to buy stocks. And when I say free, I'm talking about there is no fees to buy it. You still have to pay for the stock, though. You still got to pay the market price for the stock. But you cut out the middleman. And by the way, most of the middleman fees have been cut out already. But again, this is another way you can go directly to the company. So give me 1 second and I'll pull up a list of companies that have DRIPs. Let's see. I'm sure. Yeah. So a good website for this is Direct Investing. And so usually your bigger companies are going to have DRIPs or have some type of DRIP program. And it's a good way to get started. You usually don't need a whole lot of money. Let me pull this up real quick. So here you can see a bunch of companies that offer DRIPs. 3M, Abbott Laboratories, right? Let's see, Aflac. Aflac's an insurance company. American Electric Power, that's a utility company. These are all pretty big companies. Bank of America offers a DRIP. Bank of Hawaii offers one. Let's see. Brandywine Realty Trust, which is here in Philadelphia, doing a major project down in West Philly or University City. Callaway Golf, Capital One Financial. There's a big one. ConocoPhillips, that's a major $1 billion company. Cracker Barrel, if anybody likes Cracker Barrel. I do like to go to Cracker Barrel from time to time. I love their pancakes. By the way, I said I wasn't on to give anybody any free commercials, but I just did. Exxon Mobil is another one. So Foot Locker is another one. So here are a bunch of household names that you can invest in just by going directly through the company. Usually you have to pay a certain amount up front to get the initial party going, like $75 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But it's not that hard. It's not that hard at all. Not that hard at all. Sean, are you thinking about doing drips? Are you doing drips now? I mean, but like I said, you could actually do your own kind of drip if you wanted to. You can go on Cash App. You can take $1 and you can buy a piece of a company with fractional shares. So, I like both ways. I like both ways. All righty. All right. Where am I at? They jumped on me again. Tora, Tony Davis. How you doing, Tony? Thanks for joining us. Welcome. Tony, you're the pastor, right? I think you joined 2 or 3 weeks ago. What business letters do you find worth reading? Business letters? Warren Buffett's annual letter is a must read in my opinion. Jamie Dimon, I like Jamie Dimon a lot too. I would definitely read Warren Buffett's letter. Actually, I was thinking about maybe going back 20 years and reading the letters and doing it as kind of a presentation or part of a video sequence. Would y'all be interested in that? Would y'all be interested in me reading Warren Buffett's letters and breaking those down? What do y'all think? I mean, there's a lot of wisdom in there, right? Warning. It's not for traders. I know everybody's seeing all the trading stuff, all the crypto stuff, all the Forex stuff, all the future stuff. That's not what it's about. But Buffett does give great insight to what's going on in the economy, how to think about investing. Value investing is definitely an education to behold. But y'all tell me if y'all interested in that. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want me to kind of do a series on Warren Buffett's annual letters. Let me know. Jay Nice Worlds, how are you? Welcome. WH1294, welcome. OQ 2011, welcome. And Uniqua said, check your inbox when you get a chance. I need to understand a video I sent you. Okay. I will do that. All right. So while y'all putting in, listen, do y'all want to see me cover Warren Buffett's letter? Would you find it boring? Like, I'm a nerd. Y'all know I'm a nerd. I'm a financial nerd. I'm a politics nerd. I'm a social commentary type. Well, not social commentary, but just social nerd in terms of social conditions. Like, I think it all matters. I think it all makes up the money pie, the wealth pie. Every little bit goes into it. So y'all let me know. I don't want to bore anybody. It might be boring, darling. I don't want to put anybody to sleep. All right. So Mr. Lewis said, all right, I'm spot on. What was I spot on about? Y'all know I get these kind of delayed commentary. All right, so Brad Model says thumbs up and a 1, so he wants to see the Warren Buffett review. I'm amazing. Thank you, Miss Edith. Appreciate that. Mid-Atlantic, how you doing? Welcome. I know people are doing forbearance deals, but if their finances don't change, I got you, Tony. Pastor Tony. Foreclosures will follow people who have the credit or income can benefit from it. Yes, I totally agree. Those who have income will always be able to profit and benefit from rough times. So there's a famous saying out here, right? They give Warren Buffett credit for this, but it actually goes back to the Rothschilds. I want to say Baron Rothschild. And so the saying is, when there's blood on the street, that's when it's time to buy. So it's when people at their greatest pain point and they're bleeding money, it's time to buy. Some people find that kind of predatorish. I could make the argument, and many others could make the argument, that it's a service to a certain degree. For example, let's say, a lot of times there's an adage going around, don't sell grandma's home, because we're seeing how gentrification is coming through and they're buying these cheap properties. Typically it was a grandma or auntie or somebody that, kind of passed away and left the house to a family. And then the family sells it, sometimes out of negligence and laziness, sometimes out of true need of money, right? So if you got a family that has this property and their back's against the wall, they got to pay their bills, They don't have a whole lot of means, but they got this asset, this property that can help them put food on the table. You may have a person who is a real estate investor who says, hey, I have some cash for it, and this will help you get you through your rough time. So that's the service part of it. Now, sometimes you got people that are stealing properties, changing deeds. That's wrong. You got people who are getting lowballed. A lot of times, again, sometimes it's master manipulation and persuasion. A lot of times, though, it's lack of education on the seller's part too. So listen, we always got to take accountability and be responsible for the part we play in the situation. All right, it's not just one person's part. We all play a part some way, somehow. The more financial education we have, especially in our community, the Black community, the less people can be taken advantage of. So that's part of the reason why I do this, because I really hate seeing people getting taken advantage of. But again, I can see both sides of it. I look at it, I think, objectively. I think. All right. Right. Remote workers. And that goes back to the point about real estate changing and potentially shifting to some of these secondary and tertiary markets out here. All right. So I'm seeing a bunch of ones. All right. One, Tara Post says yes to the Buffett letters. All right. Sean says he's not doing any drips. Sean, open up a Cash App. And again, this isn't a recommendation. This is just my thoughts. Open up a Cash App. I don't know what your money looks like, but you can buy stocks on Cash App. I own $2 worth of Apple right now. $2.60 last time I looked. And I did that as an exercise to show that you don't need a whole lot of money to invest in the stock market. You can buy fractional shares. And there's other platforms where you can buy fractional shares at too. Okay, in your opinion, will Pfizer be a good buy in 2021? If Pfizer will be a good buy in 2021, Pfizer will be a good buy now, potentially. I don't know that Pfizer's vaccine is going to be the one. I did just see a headline that says Pfizer's vaccine actually is now at 95% efficiency. 95% efficiency. So I don't know, but we also saw on Mondays. So it seems like every Monday is a vaccine announcement. You might want to call Mondays Vaccine Mondays. That the company, I think it's called Moderna over in England, has a vaccine that's supposedly pretty hot. There's another company in my neck of the woods right outside of Philadelphia. I think they're called Envio. That's getting funding from the Department of Defense to fund vaccine research and development as well. So I don't know if Pfizer's the one. I personally tend to stay away from all pharmaceutical stocks and all biotech stocks because there's usually no rhyme or reason what the FDA is going to allow. And last week, we actually talked about Pfizer's study and what they have. And, they still got a ways to go in terms of getting approval. They are applying, excuse me, y'all. They are applying for these emergency licenses, for lack of a better term, from the FDA. But it seems like they're skipping out on a lot of the testing. So personally, I wouldn't want to be one of the first people to do the testing. And two, that tells me these drugs are not coming on the market anytime soon. Not to mention there's going to be a great distribution problem when we get to the market. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just being honest. I don't know everything, y'all. I know I'm a nerd, but I don't know everything. All right. So Tara says yes to the Buffett letters. Ms. Edith says yes. Please read Buffett letters and analyze for us. All right. Ms. Edith said so one. All right. So give me those ones if y'all want to see it. All right. Sean said yeah for making video of the annual letters. All right. So tell me this. Do y'all want me to do those videos live and you interact, or would you want me to kind of pre-record them and put them out? All right, so Michael Dennis says one. Katisa says, sure, Buffett is informative and educational. Chaotic Limited, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Ellis, I decided to check in after buying a few fractional shares. Get that man a round of applause, y'all. Get that man a round of, or woman. I think you're a man. You got a man in your picture. But, we can't assume these days. I don't want to get me too'd or beat up or anything. But he brought some fractional shares in his stash account. I've been getting the hang of things. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Remember, it's a roller coaster. Some days are going to be up. Some days are going to be down. Some months are going to be down. Some months are going to be up. But stick to it for the long haul. Know what your time horizon is, meaning when you might need that money back. And then just keep rocking from there. Everything has a life cycle. True indeed. True indeed. Some life cycles are longer than others. Producers always eat. Yeah, that's right. That is correct. Producers always eat. All right, so Ms. Edith says live and interact. So, all right, Ms. Edith, so are you signing up to say you're going to be live, present, and accounted for when I do those? All right, Tony wants me to do them too. Pastor Tony wants me to do them too. All right. And where's the and at? What's coming next? All right, so Mid-Atlantic says Pfizer has 20 new products they are working on by 2025. Yeah. Listen, y'all, I personally am a contrarian, meaning that when I see a bunch of people running to the left, I naturally want to go right because typically most people run in herds. And I don't want to be herded because I ain't an animal. I ain't a sheep. I want to stay conscious. I want to stay woke. Always stay woke. Not just woke politically and socially, but stay woke about your money. A lot of people get hurt because they want to run with the herd. A lot of people get hurt because they want to do what everybody else does. There's something I've been wanting to do, and I haven't done it yet. I wanted to talk about, and Robert, thank you for cueing me. I wanted to talk about the business cycle or the life cycle of economics or the economic cycle. Let me see if I can find a good chart to talk about this, because this will also show you what typically happens in any market cycle, any economic cycle, any business cycle. Now, they're different, but they all kind of overlap as well. So economic cycle is a cycle of how the overall economy goes. It ebbs and flows. You know, your business life cycle is how a business typically ebbs and flows. The stock market, that's how the stock market ebbs and flows. Now, all of those things are interactive. They're interchangeable as well, a lot of times. So what happens with one live? Okay, I can drop the pass. I can't help it. I believe in being respectful. You earn that title, so I want to respect the title, but I'll drop it. I'll try, do my best. Doodle Letters Live will be good. All right. So are y'all going to read along with me? All right. Are we going to have like one big group session? Maybe I'll do it on the Zoom and we all can kind of get on. Ray Dalio is a G. Ray Dalio is the founder of Bridgewater Capital, largest hedge fund in the world. He's been really popular these years with his book called Principles. I actually read Principles, not the book, but the working paper he had many, many years ago, over 10, 11 years ago. I want to interact. Monday, Tuesday, 8 p.m. is booked. If the schedule permits, I will participate. All right, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do some live here. Maybe I'll do some on the Zoom, like a private Zoom call. Maybe I'll do some pre-recorded as well. But it seems like y'all want to get down with it, so it's all good. So Uniqua asks, do you sell that sweatshirt and a hoodie? Yes, I do. Would you like to see the hoodie? Hold on 1 minute. So I got the hoodie. Where you been? This is the hoodie. Can you see the hoodie? And you can order them online. Anybody that wants a hoodie can order them online. Great quality at a great price. And it helps further the mission of the Finance Rebel. All right, so all right, it's a go. All right, so we can do that. We can do that. I might have start charging y'all for some of this. Y'all want all my time. But let me see. I was looking up something and I lost my thought after y'all asked me about the hoodie. I guess I'll show you the hoodie. You want to see the hoodie? You need that? Okay. I got them in great colors. I got them in blue. I got them in red. How about this? How about I just pull it up? But you're on Instagram, so you can't see it. I love the hate. I think that's what it says. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I actually owe Mid-Atlantic a hoodie. I think he either wants a blue one or a green one. I gotta go back and look. I got hoodies. I got coffee mugs. You can get it all for the low. You can get it all. What's ABS, Robert? What did I miss? So the hoodie is $41.99. So we have it in orange, purple, like a dark blue or royal blue, black. I need a black hoodie. I need to get me a black hoodie myself. So yeah. So yes, I have coffee mugs. Like I said, you can get it all for the low. I'll send you the link. I got hoodies. I got shirts. I got I was playing around with this face mask thing. I never got up on it yet though. Let's see. What else do I have on there? I got long sleeve shirts like this as well. And I have short sleeves as well. So they make for great gifts. You know what? I've been thinking about doing like some type of journal. I didn't want to be like everybody else's journal. I wanted to, anytime I do something, I want to bring value, right? And to me, bringing value isn't just kind of copying off of everybody. And I know that might seem like, I got it, Robert. That might seem like overcomplicating the thing, but in order to really differentiate in the market, like really hold yourself out special, you got to do something different. So if you're going to do something different, you got to kind of think different. And you got to approach it different. But yeah, maybe I'll do some type of financial journal. I got to figure it out though. URL. Let me find the URL. I had it up here. Now I got to find it. Y'all putting the pressure on your boy. Mr. Kevin Gee, how are you? You gonna hang out with us for a while today? So if y'all want to see something funny, right? Kevin Gee is my homeboy, but he's always like bullying me and stuff, right? So I don't like bullies, so I always fight back. I can't help it because I was bullied as a child, and I learned to fight back. But he wants to debate me about good times, right? So all the Norman Lear stuff. If anybody remembers Good Times, I think he did Say in Front of Son, All in the Family, the Jeffersons, and how Good Times was destructive to the Black community. And I say it was just a story. It was a story about the Black community, and I love Good Times. But I get some of his points. I'm not going to give it all away to him. I can't give him too much credit because his head might get bigger. But I love the father figure in James. Like James ain't take no mess at all. By the way, I'm front running you a little bit, Kevin. So get your arguments together. But he wants to do a live debate with me on the pros and cons of Good Times, if it was good or not. He says Good Times is a horrible show. Listen, James was a integral man in a rough position who never compromised his values, right? I think that is something to applaud. So that is the link right there. The link right there is bit.ly, bit.ly/FR_store. Again, bit.ly/FR_store. That's where you can get all your Finance Rebel merch. So, Michael, I hope you got that. I'll start sharing that out more. Everybody says, Kamari, why don't you promote your merch more? Huh? I be forgetting. I forget a lot of the stuff I'm supposed to tell y'all about. Yes, Sean. How the economic machine works is very, very good. It's very, very good. Oh God, no, no, come on. Oh, he was doing so good. How you gonna say? First of all, you can't take his side. He's like my mortal enemy. That's a joke, y'all. By the way, all right, don't get carried away. All right, the show was not bad though. The show was great. Wait a minute, James was a character you disliked the most, Miss Edith. Michael had more intellectual power. Yes, James. Listen, everybody knew Michael was a genius, right? And there's a lot of geniuses and young scholars in our community and the projects who oftentimes don't have a chance to flourish because they really don't have fertile ground to build to sprout their roots and get their roots in. You know. All right. Well, I'll make sure you do that. We're gonna do that one for fun. None of his aspirations. Well, I mean, a lot of people's aspirations don't come reality for a lot of reasons. He was a man from the South who didn't have a whole lot of education. I believe the time period was the 60s, right? So we were just out of desegregation or into desegregation. So, there's a lot of layers to that show. There's a lot of layers to it. A lot of layers. All right. So I know what I was pulling up for y'all. I never got to it. So give me 1 second. Bear with me for one moment. Un momento. All right, let's look at this real quick. Let me find this. Let me find this. So I'm looking for a cycle. I'm looking for the stock market cycle. So this one looks like it's pretty good. It's from RBC Wealth. So let me share this real quick. That's not what I wanted though. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to blow it up on the screen, but I can't seem to do it. It's not cooperating. And I don't want to go to the website because the website is really irrelevant to what I want to talk about, what I want to show you all. So, all right, I'm going to try this. Hopefully, everybody can see it. What I'll do is, though, I want to do an actual formal presentation on this because this is actually very, very important in my opinion. It's important for people to truly understand this. So give me 1 second as I put this on the screen. Don't forget about getting your Finance Rebel merch. If you appreciate what the Finance Rebel does, you like the education that I bring forth, go on over to my merchandise store on over in Teespring. So tell me if y'all can see that. And like I said, I will do a formal presentation. So I'm looking at the screen here. So if you can't see it, I'll just talk you through it, right? Because remember, these shows are also repurposed and put out as podcasts as well. So hopefully you all are checking out the podcast when you don't get a chance to make it here live with us. All right. So usually what happens when we see the market expand, we have a feeling of optimism, usually in the economy, usually in people, right? That optimism quickly turns into excitement. That excitement turns into thrill, right? And you see in the stock market usually go up, right? Up, up, and up. Then we hit euphoria. We hit euphoria at the top of the chart. And euphoria is an interesting word to use, right? Because usually when you're euphoria, you're in a state of bliss. You're not aware of what's going on. You're just kind of floating on a cloud. And you don't know, again, like I said, what's going on. Good, bad, or indifferent. Then we see the market start to turn bad. Turn down. Let me get rid of some of these charts. Turn down. Then anxiety comes, right? Because the market's going down. As the market begins to turn down, people begin to get anxious, right? If you can think back to '08, if you were old enough to remember '08, and again, I'm looking at this chart right here on the right. You should be able to see my pointer over it. People, they get anxious. They don't know what to do. They tend to sell out of their investments and they go to cash, right? And then they're in denial of what's going on. And then once it sets in, they become fearful. And then that fear. Now, remember, I always tell y'all the market a lot of times is a great example of emotion, of human emotion. It's one of the greatest exhibits of human emotion. And I say the market oftentimes runs off of fear and greed, fear and greed. All right. So then people turn fearful and then desperation and then panic. Right now, that panic is exhibited by even more selling. People sell. And this is kind of what happens over time. If you overlay this kind of on any stock market, you'll kind of see some of the same patterns. If you could look at some of the news events, some of the economic events that happen, some of the business events that happen, you'll see a lot of the same behavior that's being exhibited in the market. So we get the desperation, then we get the full-on panic. When we get the full-on panic, people tend to, over time, through history, right, sell. They sell, and then they sell some more. And then they get down here, they're despondent. But when people are despondent, remember I just said when there's blood on the street, that's the time to buy, right? They become despondent. They don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know what the hell to do. And then the cycle kind of starts all over again. There's a depression here after the despondency. Then people get a little hopeful. They see the market start to come back. As the market starts to come back, then they feel a little bit of relief. Then they hit optimism, right? And then you know what happens after optimism? Then you get excitement, thrill, and euphoria again. It starts all over again. You can look at the economy or the stock market again, or any business, and you kind of see the same patterns over and over again. So I'm gonna do a full-fledged presentation on that, but I wanted y'all to think about that. Think about how long the market has been running up. Think about how long the market hasn't really had any glitches. All you had to do is put your money in and run. Not a problem. I don't think it's going to be like that. History says it won't be like that forever. So y'all just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, so it's 9:30. It's 9:30. We're going to begin to wrap up. So put your questions in if you have any other questions. All right, I will. I can't pin the site. How about I just put the site, Shaniqua? I'll inbox it to you. I will inbox it to you. All right, so Ms. Edith says no James was a favorite character. Oh, I read that already. Then it says John Amos was fired because he wanted to make his character more authentic. He was also fired because he didn't like JJ's role. Lots of layers in the show. I agree. Good times. You just said you said you didn't like. So I love All in the Family. I love the depiction of Archie and the bigotry. And I love my namesake Edith. Okay. Okay. Good looking. Does that say good looking honky? Oh man. All right. So Kabari, hi, I'm Peter North here, old adult film star, currently investing in Bitcoin. Okay. All right. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you took that porno money and you're able to invest in Bitcoin. All right, y'all. So what other questions do you have before I call it a wrap? Now we're on Facebook. All right, yeah, Shay Hill. All right, I will put the there it is. There it is right there. That is the link to the merchandise store for the Finance Rebel. That's how you can get your Finance Rebel cups and merchandise, pants, hoodies, leggings. I even got leggings over there. The Green Beret Media, how you doing? Welcome. What other questions do you have as we begin to wrap up, y'all? Y'all know I got to get my vittles. I ain't had my food yet. So y'all know I got to get to that. Let me see. What other questions do you all have? I think I gave y'all the wrong link. think I gave you all the wrong link. Let me pull that link back up. Let me take that link down. All right, hold on. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do here. I gotta let me see how fast I can work on the fly. Thoughts on the market for the rest of 2020. I'll be honest. I think the market right now is like a kid on sugar. Matter of fact, I think I said that. I think I said that either a week or 2 weeks ago. It's like a kid on sugar. It's like, you know what happens when you give kids sugar, right? They just start running around. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea why they're doing it. They're just doing it. I mean, again, think about it going back to last week when I was talking about Pfizer and we saw the AMC run. Matter of fact, Kevin, here's one for you. We talked about the AMC. I think I sent it to you. But nothing changed about AMC. Nothing changed about the business of AMC. But people are still buying it. I get it. People are excited. When you go back to that chart, people are having euphoria right now. But what's going to happen when it all falls down? When it all falls down, what's going to happen? I don't think it's going to be a good look. I don't think it's going to be a good look. So personally, I like ETFs. I mean, index funds are very similar to ETFs, but personally, I like ETFs. Index funds they don't have as much transparency. They do not have as much liquidity. So personally, I like ETFs. But again, that is not an investment recommendation. That is just a form of education. This is for education and entertainment. Mr. Rubin, how are you, sir? Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. All right, so here is the link. There you go. That's how you can click the link. You can click the link there, copy and paste the link to get all your Finance Rebel merchandise. To get this shirt that I have on, or this sweatshirt, to get this coffee mug. Right. I have another coffee mug. It's a red coffee mug as well. Kind of looks like the shirt. You can get it all there at the store. All there at the store, Finance Rebel merchandise store, or the Finance Rebel apparel store is what I like to call it. So what questions do y'all have before, I get off? It's almost 9:30. We've had a very lively chat. We got porn stars coming up in here talking about they buying Bitcoin. A lively debate about All in the Family and Good Times and the Jeffersons. And like I said, we will do the Warren Buffett letters. We can definitely go over the Warren Buffett letters. Let's see if we have any other questions here on Instagram, on the grams. So again, thoughts on the market. Listen, if we can get the presidential transition properly, I think we'll be fine. But I'll say this. All of this will be a blip because, again, I always promote long-term investing, 10 plus years, especially for us starters here, right? Long-term investing. And all of this will be a blip in about a couple months. So it'll be all good. Hey, John, how you doing? You do it. How you doing? So again, I'm more anxious about the social environment than I am the financial environment. Money doesn't matter when people aren't here. Right. Again, money doesn't matter when people aren't here. So, I know a lot of times we like to talk about communism, socialism, capitalism, what's good, what's bad. But I think what's missing in all of that is the people, right? RW38, how you doing? Right. We a lot of times we forget about the people. What good is money if people aren't here? That's why I always say people over profits. Maybe I'll make a shirt out of that. So yeah, and many people are also confused that I'm a money guy who's a capitalist. Yes, I believe in capitalism. Capitalism is just a system. It's just a theory, y'all. What's up, Alton? Thanks for joining. Right. How people implement it shows their character, right? And shows how good or how bad they are. But capitalism in and of itself isn't good or bad. It's just a thing. But sadly, a lot of people haven't really spent the real amount of time studying economics. And what they do is like most people do, they just regurgitate what they hear. You can do anything you want in capitalism, right? You can Charge as much as you want for a product. You can charge as least as you want for a product. But at the end of the day, you have choice. In many of these other systems, you do not have choice. I'd rather have choice all day long. D Steph has 1K and wants to invest. Any tips he should look at? The industries that are hot, ETFs. I'm looking for all boring stuff. I'm looking for stuff that's paying dividends. I'm looking for stuff that will be solid money makers, whether we in COVID today or in COVID tomorrow, or not in COVID tomorrow. Either way, that's what I'm looking at. I mean, you got healthcare. Obviously, you got tech. I'm actually tired of tech because everybody's talking about tech, but there's money to be made in other places. Like we talked about earlier, right? Man, what was the company that I talked about earlier that will probably make money? Amazon. I mean, Amazon's kind of a tech story. But when you really look deeper in Amazon, it's more than a tech story. Amazon is actually a people story. While they don't treat their manufacturing workers or their warehouse workers the best, supposedly they're changing that. They don't have the best work policies. Even some of their executives have said they haven't been treated the best. They study data like no one else. And it was funny. So here's another idea. I need to write these down. Maybe y'all can do it, right? The companies that tend to put their customer first tend to win. Amazon's one of them. Southwest Airlines is another. Now, Southwest is doing bad because of the economic factors and the health-related factors related to COVID. But overall, they were beating a lot of the airlines. So I was going to do a quick search and study on companies that prioritize their customers and see how they have done in relationship to business profits and revenue, also how they've done in terms of overall stock performance. So that's something I would do. Yeah, John, we talked about Amazon is in the pharmacy business now, but that's something I was thinking about doing. So y'all let me know, is that something y'all want to see as well? Yeah, Alton, you are correct. Amazon selling drugs now, about to take over the game. Yep. Amazon probably going to become the post office at some point, y'all. I don't know if that's true. I'm joking when I say that. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out there. Listen, there's always money to be made in the markets. There's always opportunity. You must think from a standpoint of abundance and not a standpoint of scarcity. All right. We talked about free today. Don't be afraid to give something for free. That's all right. It will come back. If you really believe that giving equals receiving, give something away for free and see how it comes back. Now, don't just do it in expectation of something, because that messes it all up. Just be a free giver and see what happens. Now, I ain't telling you to go out there and give all your clothes and your panties and walk around butt naked. That's not what I'm saying. But help somebody out. Help somebody out that needs a little help, and then see how it goes. John says Home Depot brought that company back that they shed a while ago. Which company is that? I think I missed that. Well, I'm going to look that one up, John, but I'm going to get me some food, y'all. Again, thank you all for being here. I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Pro Show. I appreciate you all being here every Wednesday for Wealthy Wednesdays. And y'all know we do something on Saturday, right? Saturday at noon. Saturday at noon, we'll be back at noon. Saturday at noon, we'll be back at noon. I just said that to be redundant. But we'll be back for Wealthy Conversations. To have in-depth conversations about wealth. Do me a favor, don't keep me or this show a secret. Share with someone who wants to hang out with some folks who's trying to make money simple, easy, and plain, trying to uplift and motivate, right, or up level people's financial IQs just by sharing you my overall experience of 20 years experience in tax, accounting, financial planning, and institutional, or what they call Wall Street investing. So again, I thank you all. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you all next time. All righty, everybody have a great night. Be safe and do some research. See y'all. See you, folks.